guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing another Top 5 Wednesday. As always, the Goodreads group is in the description below. And this week's topic is books that took us forever to read, and this list took me forever to come up with. I am perpetually reading multiple books at a time, so it is not unusual for me to spend multiple weeks reading the same book. So which books really took me the longest, I don't know, but these are the books that I felt like it took me forever to finish, whether they actually did or not. The first book on my list is Allegiant by Veronica Roth, and this book, it got spoiled for me while I was in the middle of reading it. So like the first half of it, I flew through, then I read the spoiler, and I didn't like it, and I had to like reconcile myself to this is how the book ends. And so I put the book away for like a couple of months, and then when I finally did pick it up, it took me so much work to finish it. So yeah, it's an okay book. Didn't really like the ending. Next book on my list is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Mortal Instrument series, and I love the Infernal Devices. I zipped through the first 3 books of the Mortal Instrument series. When I got to book 4, like, the plots were getting repetitive, and I was getting annoyed with the characters because they were making the same mistakes over and over again. And then when I got to the 5th book, I was, like, completely over it. So it took me forever to finish this last book. I haven't read book 6 yet. I'm gonna do it. I'm just in burnout mode from the Mortal Instruments, and especially was when I was reading this book. Another book that took me forever to read is Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman. I love Seraphina, and that book is amazing and perfect, and I read that book in one day. So I was so excited when Shadow Scale came out, and I was like, yes, we have a second book. And the first, like, 2/3 of this book is her traveling around, and it's very slow, and that's not my kind of book. So it took me forever to read the first, like, 2/3 of this book. When I got to the ending, that last third, and it picked up, and all of a sudden I liked the book more. But yeah, this took me a while to get through. It also took me forever to read The Hunchback of Notre by Victor Hugo. To be fair, I first read this book when I was in 5th grade, and that's why it took me so long to read. This is like the first grown-up book that I finished. And like I had read other books like Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, but they're about like kids for most of that book. And like Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson is also about a kid. So this is the first book where it was like adult characters and kind of adult themes, and it was way above my reading level. So I was super excited to read this, but it did take me a while to kind of get through it. So proud of myself when I did finish it too, and I was like, yes, guys, I've read The Hunchback of Notre, and I'm like 10. Take that. I am such a book nerd. So the last book on my list is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I really love this book, and it is amazing. But things happened in this book that mirrored things that are happening in my life at the time, and it was just was not the right. It was the right time to read it, but I needed like this month break, and so the first half of the book, I was struggling with it because of things that were happening, and then when I finally did come back to it, it was exactly what I needed to read at that time, if that makes sense. I'll post a link to my review for North and South, which has a non-spoilery bit, and then the spoilery bit where I talk about why it took me so long to read. So if you want to know that. But yeah, this was more about what was happening in my life than about the actual book. And I really do love this book, and it's amazing. So those are my top 5 books that it took me forever, or it felt like it took me forever to read. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and if you had similar issues with them, or what books took you forever to read also. So peace out, I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye!